Graphic novels play an integral role in improving literacy among young readers. Let's explore the role libraries play in advancing graphic novels as a tool to improve literacy. This video will review the concepts of critical librarianship and English language learning curriculum models. In addition, the benefits of graphic novels are explored in the classroom and roles libraries play in ensuring access to these materials. Other areas of research are explored as well as additional roles libraries can consider when expanding collections.
Critical theory acknowledges that racism, patriarchy, capitalism, and similar systems of power and oppression have become nearly inextricable from many aspects of Western culture, largely due to centuries of dominance by white, heterosexual, Christian males. Critical librarianship has always been embedded in the library profession, but libraries are not immune to ideologies that allow for the marginalization and oppression of others. Libraries, like all institutions in Western culture, are produced in and through systems marked by racism, patriarchy, and capitalist modes of production, according to Hines and Ketchum.
There are 4 different models of ELL instruction broadly used across the United States: transitional, dual language immersion, pull-out or standalone ESL services, and ESL integrated into core learning. Dual language programs integrate ELL and native English speakers in a 50-50 or 90-10 model. Students in a 50-50 model receive instruction half in English and the other half in another language. In a 90-10 model, students are instructed 90% in another language and 10% in English. Dual immersion programs must meet certain ratios of ELL and native English speakers, which often mirror the makeup of the local community. Some schools offer heritage language programs, which offer a separate course solely in a language this is considered endangered, such as indigenous languages. Dual immersion and heritage language programs are considered additive or programs that aim to educate students to be bilingual and biliterate.
Subtractive bilingual program models aim to bolster a student's secondary language and pull focus away from retaining a student's primary language. An example of a subtractive bilingual program is transitional bilingual education, which is the most common method of instruction. ELLs are identified and the language of instruction is phased from the native language of the student to English. Sometimes, students are not grouped in a class but pulled out during their main class schedule to receive ELL coaching. The last type of model is when ESL is integrated into core learning. ELL students complete classes in native English alongside their peers with the goal of English acquisition without segregation. There are many models to consider and each one will impact how resources and support are designed to support overall literacy.
There are criticisms about how English language is taught in classroom settings. Historically, English language teaching has been rooted in colonialism. We must ask ourselves, what types of English forms are taught? What accents are upheld as neutral? Who makes decisions about curriculum design in ELL programs? Who selects the content that supports learning? With this in mind, teachers and librarians can begin to re-envision how sources are used to support classroom teaching. More importantly, teachers and librarians can begin imagining classroom spaces that are inclusive and uplift ELL students.
Research has demonstrated benefits to integrating graphic novels into the classroom. Graphic novels without text can help level the playing field for ELL students and heighten visual literacy skills. Graphic novels also encourage translanguaging or the ability to intertwine multiple modes of language, which empowers students to read. Translanguaging fostered by graphic novels allow for students to engage in more critical reading, often being able to identify how language advances diverse perspectives.
Libraries can play a necessary role in diversifying course materials for teachers of ELL classes or those who serve ELL students. Libraries must engage in critical librarianship and anti-racist practices to identify course materials designed to support the learning and inclusion of ELL students. Libraries can leverage ALA resources such as the social justice and comics reading lists that exist to build strong and culturally competent collections. Increasing representation of immigrant communities and ELL speakers can improve engagement with an understanding of the text. Librarians, both public and school, can also liaise with teachers to identify graphic novels, manga, and comics to promote leisure reading among ELL students. Reading in the classroom is important, but certainly students will benefit from practicing at home and some may not have access to books at home. Particularly for districts that may not have a large staff of school librarians, public library systems can explore partnering with school districts to facilitate visits, bilingual forums with parents and extra credit opportunities. Taking these actions expands the power from who selects content to support learning and who makes decisions about ELL design to the individual teachers, librarians, parents and even students. These steps are great applications of critical librarianship and necessary to equitably serve students.
There are certainly a plethora of ways libraries can advance the benefits of graphic novels. Many studies have shown the benefits of graphic novels across students in advanced placement coursework, deaf students, and even college students in general education history classes. Much is still left to be explored about the benefits of graphic novels. Particularly if schools are striving for anti-racist and globalized curricula, graphic novels could foster more inclusion and cultural competence among readers.
How can libraries and schools work together to create accessible reading opportunities? It is not limited to just integrating graphic novels in ELL classrooms, but developing collections that can even foster language aptitude in other subject areas such as modern languages, sciences, and medicine. The future certainly contains diverse outcomes for libraries and graphic novel collections.
Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to review our references for further reading.